I didn't get drafted till I was 27. The lingo now, you got different moves. And of course, women's basketball is being put on the map. I got my first college letter when I was in the 8th grade. I played against the greats, the Dianas, the Mayas, the Candices. Even though I didn't get drafted, I was like, okay, well, I'm not ready. Helps me and tell me, the things that I don't necessarily want to hear. The grind is different when you have to work for it, and it means that much more.
I want to say the real Big 12. I don't know if I can say that or not, but
yeah, no, the real Big 12. My junior and senior year was never at home in the summertime. My senior year, I got Big 12 Player of the Year with BG Cole. It was nice for me because I got to play for 3 different coaches, 3 different systems. And 2, the trainings are just different now.
Like, I'm going to the rec and I'm playing all day. Like,
bro, let me just go with you,
Please. Girls college basketball is more exciting than the men's.
You know what I mean? Like, anybody can score, but not a lot of players want to play defense. You got to find what separates you from your other players. You have to grow with your kid in that process. Don't leave them out.
Did you know that I have 2 books? One called The Little Girl with Big Dreams. It's about an ambitious little girl who overcomes every no to say yes to a dream. The other is called Changing Lanes. It teaches you about the things that you learn from sport and how it translates to life after sport. Be sure to check these out at itsjustdifferentpod.com. Let's get to the episode.
Welcome to It's Just Different Podcast, where we bring on people who have been where you're trying to go and or have helped countless athletes get there. Y'all been telling me I haven't introduced myself, so I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Ashley Roberts. I am the host, serial entrepreneur, former UT player, Hook'em, and today we got a Husker in the building, played at Nebraska, former WNBA player, currently playing overseas. I'm going to bring her in and let her talk about her success, talk about where she's playing and where she's been at in the league. What up?
What's up? How are you?
I am good. I'm glad we were able to connect.
Yes, me too. Finally.
Yes. Where are you right now?
I'm currently in Hungary right now, and I'm hooping here. Been here for 5 years, going on 5 years. So it's like my second home for me.
5 years. And where did you? I said league, WNBA. Where did you play?
I was in Phoenix for my first 3 years. I didn't get drafted till I was 27. I got titled the oldest rookie in the league at that time. So it's nice to see some older, experienced players getting into the league a little bit later. And then I went to Minnesota for a month, and then I was in Seattle last summer.
I love it. Yvonne, it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good. We start this podcast off with something that's different. The name of the podcast is It's Just Different Podcast. What do you think is different in the girls' game now versus back then? Whenever back then was.
Yeah. I mean, just, the lingo now. You got different moves coming into play. For example, like now we have this layup called the goofy layup. Never did that, when I was in college. The Euro step, for example. Just, things like that. But as far as, the game goes, it's expanding, it's getting better. The quality of it. And of course, women's basketball is being put on the map.
For sure. I'm going to jump right into this league talk. You said that you was labeled the oldest rookie, being able to do it at 27. How was that like, as far as like your journey of keep going, I can do this, I did it?
Yeah. For me, I just love the game so much. Even when I was, in high school and stuff like that. I got my first college letter when I was in the 8th grade, and then it wasn't serious for me at that time because I was also in track, and I was just a competitor. And then got to college, and college took off, and then I didn't get drafted when I graduated from college. I had, at the time, they were doing combine camps for the WNBA, so I went to Tulsa. There was over 150 girls probably, and you basically had to try out to get down to the top 15 or 12. So my dad drove me up to Oklahoma, tried out, didn't make it, but that I was like, I'm not, letting that stop me from hooping because I love the game. So went overseas. My first contract was in Australia. I went there, didn't really even have, a paid contract. I was getting paid cash. And it was my first time. I didn't even have my passport at the time. So
Wow.
my mom drove me literally the night after I graduated. We left at 3 a.m. to drive to Denver to get my passport. And then the rest is history. 2010, graduated from college. And then I played for 7 years, just working on my game, getting better, and just playing under different coaches, different leagues, so different type of competition. And then in 2017, and I played against the greats, the
Yeah.
Dianas, the Mayas, the Candices. And then in 2017, Sandy Brondello came to Hungary because we played them for EuroLeague, and she talked to my teammate Kayla George, and she was just like, "Hey, I'm thinking about bringing Yvonne over. Do you think she'll come?" And it's like, "Heck yeah, I'll come. Like, sign me up." So they signed me to a training camp contract. I didn't have a contract, guaranteed contract, and then I went there and I made the team, and then I was there for 3 years. And COVID year came. I was in Russia, and 2020, I tore my ACL, MCL, meniscus. First time ever having a season-ending injury, and did rehab. It was perfect because everything was shut down,
Right.
so it was great. Like all I had to do was do rehab. I was doing it 3 times a day. And then after that, I just kept going. I was like, if I get a job, in the league, I'll get a job. If not, like, it's not going to stop me. I love hooping. So went back overseas, and then Minnesota called me up. I was there for a month, enjoyed that. And then I went back to Phoenix for the remainder of the season, for the last half of the season. And then signed in Seattle for the summer last year, which was great. It was amazing. And then this year I probably won't be able to go, but my hope is still not dead with that. So if they call me up, I'm for sure gonna ride with it.
Why do you say you probably won't be able to go?
Our season doesn't finish here in Hungary until May 15th.
Oh.
And so now, yeah, now the WNBA has a rule where if you play 3 or more years, you have to be there the first day of training camp. And if you're not, then you're
Mm.
suspended for the year.
Oh, that's interesting. So,
Very.
and I don't know how any of this works, but
Yeah.
if you did get picked up, could you just not leave your team?
Nah, no.
Oh.
So in my contract, yeah, nah. In our contract, well, certain it depends on the player. So like certain contracts, you can go, for example, just for the first half of the season, finish in December, and then you have the rest of the season off. Or you can say, hey, like for example, there's a Euro Cup and Euro League in Europe, and so you can basically say once that season is finished, then I can leave and then go back to the States, or you can play a whole season. But I mean, my loyalty is with my team here in
For
Chopron. I've
sure.
been here with them, so I wouldn't, unless like it was something that was stable and I had a nice fine foundation in the league. Then I would be like, hey, like I have to leave at this certain date, blah blah blah. But Chopron's been too good to me, so I wouldn't even go and ask for it.
Right. No, that make a lot of sense. I'm still stuck on the 7 years overseas and getting called up. Like that just took just a lot of
Yeah.
one head down and just work. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
timing, run your race. Like it's just making me think of just like a lot of these athletes who are 2024s, they're seniors now, don't really have offers, don't have this, but it's
Mhm.
on their own time.
Right.
It's a girl in Austin that I always talk about. She didn't have many looks. At her time, she got SLU and now she killing it. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
that's just hearing your story just make me think of that. Like 7 years. Like, was there
Yeah.
ever a time where you just was like, all right, like I'm done with this, or I'm not gonna be able to go to the league?
Never, because it was, obviously it's always, a basketball player's dream to play or whatever career you're at. You want to always get to the highest level that you can possibly go to. And for me, even though I didn't get drafted, I was like, okay, well, I'm not ready.
Yeah,
I'm not experienced enough. I don't have, enough weapons in my bag. So I just went overseas and just kept critiquing my craft. I have 3 older brothers, and I have a nice, player development coach who helps me. She's an assistant for Creighton University. And so just having a team that supports me and, helps me and tell me, the things that I don't necessarily want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I just, the grind is different. The grind is different when you have to work for it, and it means that much more.
Right. Now that makes sense. I love that. We jumped right into league. I want to take it back just a little bit, take it back. But like you were able to get to the league, but before that, obviously college, all these different things. How were you able to get to Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Nebraska,
So
that was Big 12, right?
Big 12, yep, yep, yep. Texas Tech was there. Texas, K-State, Kansas. That was back when, Big 12 was popping.
I was gonna
Um,
say, I want to say the real Big 12. I don't know if I can say that or not, but
yeah, no, no, no,
that's
the
when it
real Big
was.
12. Yeah, the real Big 12. And it was, at that time it was the most competitive league that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, like I played three different AAU teams. My junior and senior year was never at home in the summertime, which it helped me and prepare me for now because when I'm playing overseas and stuff, I play all year round, summertime, wintertime, so it's nonstop. But yeah, I played on three different AAU teams my junior and senior year, and I narrowed it down to Illinois, Nebraska, and then Creighton because I wanted to stay close to home. I'm from Nebraska, so I was like, let me find something close, but I had a nephew at the time, and I was like, I don't want to go too far and not allow him to, know his only auntie. So I stayed at home, signed with Nebraska, and then, yeah, and then I got my senior year, I got Big 12 Player of the Year with BG, co Big 12 Player of the Year with BG, and yeah, it was a great fit. I couldn't, I wouldn't change it for the world, even though, you go through adversities with the game and everything like that. So it was good. It was good to be home and to be in front of my family, my friends. And yeah, I was a hometown kid.
Yeah. And you just like, oh, I got MVP. I seen 3-time all Big 12 defensive team, first team all Big 12. Like you was
Yeah.
killing it.
I got a couple awards, and yeah, I was just, that it really, I wasn't focused on that. I was
For
just,
sure.
focused for on my team, just elevating, and of course just trying to make it to the league. But like I said, like Big 12 was so competitive that it was the best. And so every night we played games, we had a full house. Back then it was the Bob Devaney Center. And then but yeah, I got a couple up my sleeve.
Just a little bit. Man, I'm so like I'm still hurt about like how so many teams are leaving the Big 12 now. Like
Hmm.
it's gonna be so different. Like
Yeah.
Texas not even gonna be in the Big 12, and it's just like nobody's really
How?
in the big right.
Yeah,
Like
like how?
the Big
And
12 is
it's
totally
crazy
different
because
now.
yes, yeah, and it's crazy because it used to be the most competitive, conference that we had, and now there's still some Big 12 teams there, but it ain't like the from 2006 to 2011, I think, and then after that they went to Big 10.
Yeah.
Nebraska did. Nebraska
So
did.
Nebraska, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Because I was there. And I think they might have went maybe before or maybe around 2011. I was there 2012.
So it might have been 2012 then.
Well,
It
they
might have
wasn't
been
there.
20.
Nebraska wasn't there in that
Okay.
conference. So
Okay.
maybe it was
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just crazy how Big 12 is always changing. Like, well, conferences in general is always
Hmm.
changing. Because I don't
Hmm.
think was A&M in with Nebraska,
Yep. A and
A&M and
M was in
Missouri.
there.
Oh my
Yep.
God!
Yep.
See,
Missouri was there. Yeah. It was some tough teams there. It was some tough teams there.
yeah, it's so different. It's so different now.
Hmm.
You said that you played with 3 AAU teams your junior year.
Hmm.
Why
Yeah.
did you
My
feel the
junior
need to play
senior.
with three teams at the same time?
Hmm.
Why did
Yep.
you feel the need to do that?
Just the experience, not taking no days off, as a kid. you live for stuff like that. You go on games, you go on trips, and it was just it was nice for me because I got to play for three different coaches, three different systems, and the exposure. So that's where college coaches will go and view games and things like that. And I just wanted to make the most of it because you don't get that back. And I was just trying to play as many games as I could for the summer. And I was just trying to eat.
I love it. Do you not think, like, when I think of like kids now, I think that's very hard to do.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
of the amount of games, because of just the workload, because it's just so much. Well, one, I think in like live period, I don't even think you can play on multiple teams.
Nah, they cut that off.
Yeah, you can't play on multiple teams, but I'm like, I could not imagine a kid now like doing that.
Mhm. Mhm. And two, the trainings are just different now. Like when I was growing up, there was no such thing as individuals or player
Oh,
development
that's a good point.
coaches, and so now you see so many coaches, or not coaches, but now you see so many athletes practicing outside of practice. So they'll
Mm-hmm.
go to practice for 2 hours, and then later that day they're going with a player development coach or doing an individual with whoever, whether it's weightlifting or on court stuff, like Vertimax. Like Vertimax wasn't even a thing when we were in college,
Mm-hmm.
So the game is changing and evolving, every year, and it's good to see. It's great to see, and
Yeah,
that's what we need for the game.
that's a good point. Like, I do wish that we can bring pickup back. Like, these kids are not, they're not playing
Man,
pickup.
yep, yep, yep.
Like, that is what we did. And I honestly feel like, yes, we didn't have, like, I feel like today's game, there's more skilled
Mhm,
players, but
mhm.
we were more like not bagging down, like just hooping and like,
Hooping.
yeah,
Mhm.
we were hooping. And I think we got that just from playing pickup. Like,
Yep.
I'm going to the rec and I'm playing all day. Like, I didn't
Mhm.
need a trainer necessarily, but I got my reps just from trying stuff out in pickup, just from doing different
Yep.
things in pickup.
Yep.
I,
And
I
and
wanted,
that's Yeah, that's another thing like kids don't do. I mean, it would be a struggle for our parents to tell us to get in the house, when the street lights came on, stuff
yeah,
like that. Like we was out, And
out.
then now, people are charging for gyms because my dad was the director of the Boys and Girls Club. So I grew up in sports, and basketball was, just a thing for us. But pickup nowadays, you tell a kid, all right, let's go play pickup after you get out of school, and then you get out of practice, let's go play pickup. They're like, no, I'm tired. Or they on
Yep.
TikTok, or they on social media, or but us, the back in the day, you couldn't get us out the gym. We in that mug till midnight, And
Midnight.
it was, yeah, pickup is that's where you really and truly work on your game, because I mean, for me, I didn't have a girls team to play with until I was in the 8th grade.
Mm.
So I played on co-ed teams and I played on my brother team, and then I was always following my brother, and he's like, you're not coming and hooping with me, and I'm like, bro, like, let me just go with you, like,
Please.
yeah, I was the littlest one, but I was the fastest one, and I was the only girl on the team, but it helped me and develop my game, because if I can play against the guys, then I was going and cooking the girls,
Mm-hmm.
and or I was doing moves that I would see a guy doing or whatever, and then I would do it in the game, and then I was just, eating in high school. Loved it. Loved
See,
it.
man, it's so crazy you say that. Like, I feel like that is going still on his pickup. Like, I also feel
Hmm.
like that is why it's so hard for kids to translate. Like, I hear a lot of parents always say, like, we paying for these trainings, we doing this and that, but it's not
Yeah.
translating in the game. They're not using it in the game. Like,
Hmm.
we was testing, like, we were able to do it in the game because we got to do it in practice of like
Yeah.
pickups. Like, we just trying
Yeah.
stuff in pickup. That's what
Yeah.
pickup is for.
Right. Right. And two, like,
Did you know that I have two books? One called The Little Girl with Big Dreams. It's about an ambitious little girl who overcomes every no to say yes to a dream. The other is called Changing Lanes. It teaches you about the things that you learn from sport and how it translates to life after sport. Be sure to check these out at itsjustdifferentpod.com. Let's get to the episode.
nowadays like they'll, for example, the NBA. I watched the NBA game, I think like 2 weeks ago, and they scored like 147 points or something like that. And I'm like, back in the day, they wasn't scoring that. The most would be maybe 90 or something like that.
Right.
And that's just how much the game evolved, just because, like there were three-pointers and all this, but you'll go and watch a kid in the AU game and that's all they want to do is shoot threes. And I'm like, get to the rack. Like, break your player down, do the stuff. And it comes from pickup. You play
Yep.
pickup, that's what you're gonna do. And yeah, it's so different. It's so different watching the game now and watching kids now, because I would go home for Christmas and that's when our high school holiday tournament would be. And the game is just totally different. There's
Yep.
kids pulling up, at half court and stuff like that. But it's definitely moving in the right direction for sure.
Yes, I agree. I think probably one of the biggest things that I love to see about the game now is media.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
I was talking
Yes.
to Alexis Hyder. She's one of the episodes, and she was
Mm-hmm.
talking about how she had 60 points in the game before, but
Yeah.
media wasn't around like that, so you didn't really know. Like, that is one thing that I love
Right.
about the game now is the media, because we able to see Caitlin Clark on display.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're able
Mm-hmm.
to see a lot of these different things. Sanaya Burks, high school, hit 75 points, had a triple double. Like,
Right.
we able to
Right.
see a lot of those things, and I think it's so good for the game. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I would argue to
Mm-hmm.
say that girls college basketball is more exciting than the men's.
Absolutely, hands down, 1,000%. Like, I would go and watch women's college basketball before I even turn on a men's game.
Yep.
Easy, because we compete. They play defense. I mean, okay, it's not exciting because they're not dunking and stuff like that, but there's more to the game than just that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, that's what a lot of kids are like, dang, I can't wait to dunk. I can't wait to do this. Then it's like, all right, play defense first. Let me see you get a stop on somebody. You know what I mean? Like, anybody
Mhm.
can score, but not a lot of players want to play defense. And
Yep.
that's what I took pride in my sophomore year in high school. And that's what got me to where I am now, is just, being a lockdown defender, and I love it. I love being in people's business.
So defense is like your specialty.
Ah, I love it.
I mean, I guess
I
getting
love it.
first 3-time all Big 12 defensive team, I would assume so. I would assume so.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
let
But
me
I like
ask
it.
you, like, would you say, like, obviously, I'm sure you were a good player, but would you say, like, was defense like, what am I trying to say? I guess was defense your way of getting to Nebraska, your way of getting into overseas, your way of getting into WNBA? Was like defense your thing?
Yeah, yeah. I would say my defense separated me from a lot of players.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, like you can score anything. Everybody can score. But not a lot of players can play defense, and I took pride in that. At the time I would ask my coach, like, no, let me guard the best player. Let me lock down the best player, because I knew I can score on defense. I was
Mm-hmm.
quick as hell, so I can break down whoever. And then, as I got older, my brothers are like, you need a mid range game. You need a 3-pointer. And I'm the skinniest thing out there. And I'm like, I don't need that. I can break down players. And he's like, no, like, there's going to be bigger players, blah, blah, blah. So, but I always took pride in defense, no matter what. And I got a wingspan that's out of this world that don't even match my height. So, and my hands and stuff. And so that's just, I took pride in that. And my high school coach helped me, to get into that mindset to, stop players. And, there's always that player that you want to go to when you're on a team and you're like, we need somebody to stop their best
For
defender or
sure.
their best player. And that was always me. And I took pride in that.
Do y'all hear that? Let me get up real quick. Do y'all hear that, players? Do you hear what she is saying? Like, it is okay to focus on one thing, and it's okay to be really, really good at one thing. Not saying that because again, I know you were able to do a lot of other things, but I think
Hmm.
that is just another issue, or just a thing that players think. Like, they got to go to the gym, they got to work on this, they got to work on that, they got to do this in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches are looking for people. If you can defend and you can defend the other team's best player and you are really good at that, I promise you're going to get recruited. Because there's not a lot
Yep.
of defenders, for one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is that, and to take in to the fact of also being coachable.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to be able to be coachable. Because no one wants an a-hole on their team, or a
Right.
player who doesn't want to listen or take in, the information. So, but no, defense will separate you, and also if you're a shooter. But if you can shoot and can't
Yeah.
play defense, it's you got
Yeah.
that balance, but.
And that's what
Defense
I was
gonna
going.
always win and take
Right, but
over.
that's what I was gonna say. Even if it's whether that's defender, whether that there's some people who look for
Mm,
straight shooters. So if you can
yep.
show that you are a knockdown shooter, some
Hmm.
schools gonna take a chance on you. Some schools gonna
Yeah.
figure out a way how to hide you on defense. Some schools gonna figure out a way. That's just the
They'll make it work.
if you can do one thing, if you are a rebounding machine,
Hmm.
like I think kids need to like really, really focus in on that of like, what can I be really good at?
Yeah, yeah. What separates you from your other teammates? Not like in a conceited, selfish way, but what can you bring to your team that you can count, your teammates can count on you, your coach can count on you every single night, no matter if you have an off game. Because, for example, you can have an off game on offense. Cool. Okay, what can you do besides that? Can you rebound? Can you play
Right.
defense? Can it's the little things that matter. And I think we sometimes take those for granted because it's like, dang, I had an off night. Okay, but did you get some steals, or did you hustle plays? We used to
Yep.
call them hustle plays. I don't even know if they call them hustle plays now, but yeah, and it's just different because in college we had practices where we had a coach who would track deflections, who would track
Right.
steals and stuff like that, and that's how we would get the motivation to be like, bet if we get 50 deflections or something like that, then we get the day off. So it's like, dang, y'all, let's go, let's get this stop, or let's get this or that. So it's just, you got to find what motivates you. You got to find what separates you from your other players, not in a selfish way, and take off and be great at that. Not good at it, but be great
Be
at it.
great. Be great. I love it. I love it. We're gonna fast forward a little bit from college to overseas. Anna Lee, what would you say is the biggest difference or even adjustments that you have had to make from overseas to playing in the league?
Um, oh, overseas, you got the freedom to do whatever you want to do. Anything you want to do. If you want to pull up in transition, you could pull up in transition if you wanted to, on certain teams. But no, overseas, I mean, you just have the freedom just to be yourself. They don't put you in a box. Not to say that, all teams in the league will do that, but in the league, I feel like there's role players. You have a role player in the league, and it's more so suited that way. And like I said, like I got on, with Phoenix, for example, because I can play defense and I was a good wingman, a good pick and roll player. But overseas, you just have the freedom to just be in your bag the whole time. You play more. Your team, not to say that the W don't count on you, but your team counts on you because you play 35 plus minutes every game. Sometimes you're playing twice a week, whether you're playing domestically or internationally or overseas. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would probably say that like the league, the W is more so role oriented, and then overseas is just be you.
Be you, do whatever you want.
Yep.
What would you say is the biggest challenge playing overseas?
Biggest challenge I would say time difference, not being able to play or have your family near you or with you, in the stands and stuff like that. Language barrier.
That would be it
That's
for me.
that's yeah, but most coaches speak English, especially if you play in EuroLeague and Euro Cup. They try to get coaches who speak English, and if they don't, then you'll have a translator. Like the first time I was living in love and basketball was when I went to Russia. My coach didn't speak English. My teammates didn't speak English. This was my third year overseas, and I'm coming from Australia and Germany, whereas, though my coaches spoke English, everyone spoke English. And so I get to Russia. My teammates didn't speak English. So just trying to communicate on the court was
Mm.
so like crucial for us because we couldn't understand each other. And but I would say, yeah, I would say those are the my tops. And then food. I love food, but like sometimes the food ain't good here.
What's been your best place with the best food?
Ooh, Spain was fire.
Oh, I
Spain was
bet.
good. Spain was pretty good, and Dubai has some good food.
I need to go to Dubai. I've been saying I'm going to Dubai.
Uh, you have to. Dubai is beautiful. It's really beautiful there, and the weather, not to mention, is great too. So,
Yeah, I
but
keep
yeah,
saying I'm going there. I need to do that.
you got to put it on your bucket list.
Yeah, I like that. What
Yeah.
advice would you give parents and players just navigating high school basketball, AAU basketball, in general?
One, I would say don't settle. And I mean that in a good way because, you know, sometimes you'll be the all-star or the superstar on your team for high school, and then you go to a team, for example, your freshman year, and you're not that superstar or all-star, and it takes time, and that's okay. And as parents, you have to grow with your kid in that process. Don't leave them out. Don't allow them to just take whatever, but also help them and challenge them. So don't settle in a sense of like, okay, because now I think the transfer portal is crazy in
It's
college. You could just
crazy.
leave whenever you want to. And when I was in college, you couldn't do that. I had two teammates who tried to leave
Yeah, you
Nebraska,
sitting
and
out.
you sitting out and you ain't playing in the Big 12, you
Yep.
playing in a different conference, like, or you losing a year of eligibility. Like, so now kids could just do whatever they want to. And it's like, okay, but now, you know, kids are also getting paid on social media for yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I would say not settling, for parents and for athletes. And take your time on your decision. Do your pros and cons, do your research, because a lot of parents and athletes would just be like, bet I want to go to this school just because, I don't know, they're sponsored by Nike.
Yep.
Okay, well, what's your reasoning, your other reasoning by that, you know what I mean? Or like, I want to go here because, not to mention, you know, so and so went here. That's great, but like, what is your vision for you? Every player, of course, you get inspired by them. You want to walk in their footsteps, but you are on your own journey, and you are in control of your career, your journey, whether that's basketball, whatever career field you go into. And so you just got to make sure you know what are your priorities.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would say those.
I love it. I love it. That was a good answer. I love that. Before we end this episode, we got to do a top five, top five, top five.
Ooh, okay.
Starting with number one, what is your biggest ick as a player?
Oh, my biggest ick as a player, wrinkled jerseys. Wrinkled jerseys. I can't do it. I can't
These
do a
aren't the
wrinkled jersey.
jerseys, please.
Yes. So I wash my jersey before every game, the night before every game, and make sure that thing is nice and crispy. But yeah, wrinkled jerseys.
Build your five. You can go five WNBA players or five college players. Who you rocking with, and you are the coach.
Ooh, and I'm the coach. Uh, I do Kelsey Plum. She a bucket.
Okay.
Um, at the point, I would do. At the two, I would do. Dang, that's tough. I'll put in Caitlin. Caitlin in there.
Okay.
At the two, at the three, I'll do DB. DB at the three. I'm gonna leave her out the post because we got so many amazing post players. At my four, I'll do Stewie,
Okay.
and then at my five, BG.
Okay. It's a good
Yeah,
group. I like that. That's a good. Y'all winning some games with that. I like that one.
for sure, for sure.
You can live anywhere in the world. Where would it be and why?
Um, Got to be somewhere hot. I lived in Nebraska for far too long, and it's cold.
I can't do the
Uh,
cold.
I know. So I probably say, uh, Thailand, somewhere tropical. Just because again, like I don't like cold weather and the food. I'll travel anywhere for food. It could be a 30-minute drive, an hour drive. I'm
You
traveling for food.
going.
I'm going.
Outside of basketball, what is one thing you could do every day and enjoy it?
I read my Bible every day and I enjoy it. I spend time with God the first thing in the morning before I touch my phone, answer any text messages or emails. And that time that I spend with him, no one can take that away from me. And it's my, it's my safety net. So yeah, I would say my time spending with God every morning.
Love that. What is the pregame playlist looking like? Who you listening to
Oh,
before the game?
I got some Rod Wave on
Wait, wait,
there.
wait, 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 wait. You got some what? I know
I
you didn't
got
say
some
Rod
Rod
Wave.
Wave. Yes, got to,
We
got
best
to.
friends now. They be hating on Rod Wave. They be hating on
I
Rod Wave.
know, I know, I know they do. But no, I gotta have my man's Rod in there.
What's your favorite song?
Ooh, my favorite, I would probably say Street Runners.
Okay.
I like Street Runners. The beat, I'm a beat person. So if a song got a dope beat, then I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna rock with it. And then you gotta follow it up with the lyrics. So
Yeah.
I like Street Runners. I like
I
Street
like
Runners.
that. Okay.
Um, I got a little bit of Christian in there, a little bit of Christian rap, some country. I'm a country girl. Some R&B for sure. And I'm ratchet kinda. So I like some Megan and some Cardi.
Okay. Not on Ratchet.
So yeah, I listen. I could be holy and all of that, but I could get ratchet, and
A
that's
good
my when
mix.
I
A good
listen to.
balance. You got a
Yeah,
good balance.
exactly. Only thing I don't listen to is techno and rock and roll. No, I'm not getting down with that. Not
I
getting
can
down with
I
that.
can feel
But
it.
but
We
yeah, a
start
little bit mix of
little
everything.
mix. I like it. I like it. But you said Rod Wave, my day is made.
Hey, there we go. We in
Just
there.
just saying. We start the podcast with what is different, and I like to end with you, the person. What will be different about you or with you within the next 3 to 5 years?
Um, I would probably say I'm most likely to be retired.
Okay.
And I love to give back to the community, whether that's working with kids, whether I don't know wherever God takes me, whether that's coaching in the school, or working, with my nonprofit company in Nebraska. So something like that, retiring, still traveling, enjoying life, and just giving back to
What's the
whoever.
what's the nonprofit? Tell us about the nonprofit.
So it's called Develop. It's Develop, and then we Develop, and it's in the heart of the city. So it's for the Black community. I know me growing up, I didn't have all the resources that living out west, having money and things like that for training and stuff. So we train, our kind, and we give them the resources in order for them to have access to the gym space, to have access to trainers, to tutors, a nutritionist, and a strength and conditioning coach. And we just trying to expand. We're trying to look at different locations as well, but for now we're in Nebraska in our home base because my other business partner, Chevelle, she coaches for Creighton, and she was the one who founded it. She's the owner and everything, and I just, she thought that it would be a great opportunity, and it's a great opportunity for me because I love giving back, and I love, seeing athletes excel because I didn't have the resources that I had growing up that we have now.
For
So
sure.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
And
This has been
we help
good.
them, to get ready for college recruiting and, professional career and stuff like
One
that, high
stop shop.
school. Yeah, yeah, yep, yep.
I love
So
it.
it's been going great. It's been going great.
I love it. This has been good. I'm glad we was able to get together.
And
I'm so glad we was able to get together. I know it's a big time difference. It's what, like 8 o'clock there? It's 2 o'clock here. 2:30 here.
9:30.
So it's
Yeah, 9:30
9:30.
p.m. But it's okay though. It's okay.
Yes, I appreciate you for taking time out of this. If you could, one, tell the people where they can find you. Two, leave a message, parents, players, coaches, whoever, whatever's on your heart, leave a message for the people.
I'm on Instagram, Von22. I'm on TikTok. I don't really post much on there. I just watch it for, the videos. But if I could leave a message, I'm a believer, so always trust God, trust God's process, trust God's timing, and trust that He's always gonna have good things in store for you when you follow His word. And I would probably say, if I can leave in 2 words, next play for anything you do in life. Don't dwell on the past. Just keep one foot in front of the other. The sun will rise again every single morning, and keep your head up, keep pushing.
I love it. I love you. We can't end it no better than that. Make sure y'all follow her. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit the like button. Make sure you follow on Apple, Spotify. We will continue to bring you guest after guest after guest every week. So make sure you subscribe so the people can see the episodes. We'll be back next week.
Absolutely.